550 KTRS. Kat Neville from Face Magazine joins us just like she does every Wednesday. It is sponsored by the Fountain on Locust. The Fountain on Locust is the home of the ice cream martini. Check it out. They also were voted the best public restrooms in the entire galaxy. The Fountain on Locust,
the galaxy.
home of the ice cream martini. Good morning, Kat Neville.
Good morning.
Feast Television this past weekend had the one where you went down to El Salvador for the coffee beans.
Yes, with Caldi's.
It was really, I had no idea.
Well, and that's exactly why we did this. I mean, people drink coffee every morning, but you don't really understand how it's made. You just think that it magically appears, somehow. But really, it is the bean inside of a fruit that grows on a tree. And the fruit is called a cherry, and it looks like a cherry or a cranberry, and it's like bright red. And when you taste it, it's really floral and delicate. And then like the bean inside is just this kind of almost waxy thing that is dried and then roasted. And then you have what we call coffee.
And let me, not that I'm Bob Costas or anything, but what I liked about the show was you asked a great question. They have this big giant drying concrete pad that looked gigantic. And she asked a very, it was a stupid question, but it was a great question. And I don't mean a stupid question. I don't mean a stupid question. I mean
there are no stupid questions.
It was a very simplistic question, which was why do some beans go left to right and these ones go diagonal? And I was thinking, I'm like, I don't understand why the beans going one way and the other way. And you were like, can I ask a stupid question? Why is it doing it? And the guy said,
it follows the direction of the sun. So these beans are dried. You can do mechanical drying in drums, but the beans are typically dried on what are called patios, which are these large, like concrete or stone patios. And then people from 7 in the morning until the sun goes down, they rake the beans to help the drying, essentially stir them. And so they rake them in the direction of the sun so that they get the most sun exposure. And so each round of beans, which they're delivered during the harvest seasons every night, they might be on the patio for 10 days.
Right.
To dry fully.
Right. And the sun goes up and down. So like you would with a suntan.
The sun's moving.
You change the direction of the chair to get the best sun, depending on what time of day. That's what they do with the beans.
Yeah.
It's really
interesting.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
It was a great question.
Thank you, Kelly.
But it was a question where you're confident enough to ask the simple question. And oftentimes, this, you weren't trying to be...
But that's what people are wondering.
Absolutely. Right. You weren't trying to show the audience how smart you were with this brilliant... It was like, hi, I'm inquisitive.
Yeah.
And that's what was
so
great about it.
I think my exact question was, is it the artistic whim of the person? Because I'm like, because it's beautiful when you look at it, because the beans, depending on how they're treated, how they're washed, they're different colors. And so you have all of these diagonal, straight, all these patterns. And I'm like, are people just kind of like, expressing themselves through the pattern or, whatever?
I couldn't believe they still hand-pick the beans.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a machine. They haven't invented a machine yet that can pick the beans.
No, well, because not all of the cherries ripen at the same rate because they're fruit. And so what you do, and the best coffees, number one, the best coffees are grown at very high altitudes. But then the coffee cherries, not each one is perfectly ripe. And these and the pickers who are managed by, on these farms, you can only really process the fully ripe cherries because that is where you get the best flavor from the bean. If it's not fully ripe, you're not going to get good coffee.
So you need somebody who knows the difference between a ripe bean versus a...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's generations of people who climb up these mountains and pick these beans by hand.
Wow.
Or the cherries by hand.
And call these contracts with these growers to bring the coffee back to town.
That's really the heart of the story, is that we are aware of what fair trade coffee is. And so as consumers, we hope that if we are buying fair trade coffee, that the pickers and the growers and the farmers are compensated properly. But here, what Caldi's does, and it is pretty unique. What they do is they have a direct relationship with the farmers, and so they go down and directly negotiate prices rather than just paying these commodity prices or even the fair trade commodity price. What they're doing is they're directly negotiating with the farmer, and they go. It's very, very cool.
Highly recommend Feast Television on PBS.
Thank you.
Channel 9. All right, let's get to a couple restaurants.
I have a couple of summer fun ideas, and the first one. ice cream cakes. You scream, we all scream
Yes.
for ice cream.
Fudgy the Whale.
What?
Fudgy the Whale. Carvel.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Carvel used to have ice cream cakes, and they had something called Fudgy the Whale. It was like an ice cream cake of Fudgy the Whale.
Fudgy the Whale.
Okay.
I'll shut up now. That was a stupid question.
It was more of a statement. Anyway.
Yeah.
So ice cream cakes has been on, or ice cream cakes has been on Cherokee for a number of years, and they have a brand new location in Maplewood. And so ice cream cakes, they're known for just doing really creative, super fun things. And like, for example, the cakes might be in the form of a zombie or sushi or something like that. And the flavors, Carrie is the owner, and the flavors that she is making, everything is organic, locally sourced, everything. She has vegan ice creams that are available. And so a lot of the stuff that she's doing, for example, a chocolate Guinness ice cream that's marbled with brown butter and malted Bass Ale ice cream. Wow. She's doing an orange habanero chocolate, blueberry cheesecake, oatmeal cookies and stout, for example. And so at the new Maplewood location, which is at 7326B, Manchester, and it's very small. It's only 256 square feet because it's an ice cream shop. And so she's doing mainly hand-dipped ice creams there, but eventually she'll be offering some other things, like some of her signature cakes and things like that. She does a lot of limited flavors that rotate seasonally, like blackberry coffee, pistachio caramel, lavender lemon swirl, and then she has one. It's very, relevant now. It's called Tastes Like Purple Rain, which is pineapple, grape, blueberry, strawberry, hibiscus, elderflower, rose, and coconut milk.
Wow.
So super creative stuff. She has a little trucklet that goes to a couple of different farmers market, the Tower Grove Farmers Market, and I think also the Maplewood Farmers Market. And so she has a lot of events.
Really seasonal stuff.
Super seasonal, super creative, very much of the current thought process of how food should be. It's creative, but also totally high quality.
It's ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
Ice cream, not ice cream cakes.
Yes.
Ice cream cakes.
Because when you look at, and you really should just go online and check out the work that she does, these ice cream cakes that she makes, I'm not kidding, some of them are grotesque in the best way, like mummies, zombies with ice cream blood coming out of their eyes. I mean, really, really cool, but she's not sacrificing quality in order to be fun and cool. The quality goes hand in hand with this product.
Beautiful. All right, what's number 2?
Number 2, also, it's almost Memorial Day, almost summer, so it's time to get out on the farm. I love going out on the farm.
Yes.
And Claverack Farm. Have you guys heard of it?
I have not heard of it.
Thank
Have you mentioned
Kelly.
it? Or I don't know.
I don't think I've ever mentioned them,
Okay.
but they are in Eureka on Lewis Road, and they are a working farm. They have, they make microgreens, they have chickens, they actually make wine, but they have this beautiful rehabbed, refurbished, historic barn on their property where they host events. You can
That's why I
have
know of
weddings and this kind of stuff, but they also do a dinner series. And so their next dinner is tomorrow, and it is the Span Vineyards wine dinner, but they have dinners throughout the summer. So if you can't make tomorrow's, or if it's sold out, don't fret, because they do it all the time. But they're starting at 6:30 tomorrow. The menu is inspired by all of the things that are available for spring. So greens, fennel, carrots, beets, radishes, all this kind of stuff. So each dinner is unique and totally different. And so the menu for tomorrow are seasonal flatbreads, wild shrimp, pork, and veggie pot stickers with a ginger tomato water reduction and baby veg. I know. They have, so inside of this beautiful barn, they have a full commercial kitchen. So they turn out these wonderful dinners. They have a spiced creamy spinach soup with preserved lemon creme fraiche. They're doing a salad niçoise with oil poached tuna, new potatoes, and farm eggs with spring herbs and greens. They're doing a Buttonwood Farm chicken confit with asparagus, green garlic polenta, and sauteed greens, and then a buttermilk panna cotta with blackberry rose sauce and cocoa crumbles. And so because they're bringing a winery in, all of these courses are served with these different wines. And I just love these types of dinners because it happens once and it will never happen again. And it totally reflects not only what's growing at Claverack, but for example, with Buttonwood Farms, they're a wonderful farm that's in the middle of the state, and they do these like pasture-raised chickens and turkeys, and it's a really great way to taste what is happening in Missouri right now.
Claverack Farms.
Yes.
Check it out. The pictures are great online. Also, ice cream cakes
Yes.
on Manchester. Kat Neville from Feast Magazine. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
8:50